Okay, fish tank fans, this is Prickly Hedgehog, and just a little review here of a couple of systems that I had to install on the tank. A while ago, obviously, I installed the 8-watt Aqua UV sterilizer just to give increased water clarity and zap the protozoas and things, which we talked about in another video. That's been working really well. No signs of disease on the fish since that's been in, so no itch, no fungi growing on the discus at all, which is really good. Really neat to see, and the fish are doing quite well, as you can see, growing healthy. So that's been good. The other thing I installed was the Instill 1 liter CO2 dispenser, which, as you can see, is currently on, based on the light there. The LED indicates that the system is working. I have it on a self timer in conjunction with the light system, which basically means that it's only producing CO2 when the light system operates. It was tricky to get it up and running initially, to get the setup right. In fact, I nearly killed my fish by producing or pumping in way too much CO2. It doesn't take much on the controls to get the right amount of CO2 in the tank that I have, which is 55 gallons. So that's been very successful. It's been running for about a month now, and it was only partially filled when I got it. So it gives you an idea of how much is in a 1 liter container. It cost me about $115 plus shipping. I think I got it from aquariumplants.com, and took about a week or two to get here, and that's been awesome. If you've been wasting your time with those canisters and been kind of screwing up new canisters every couple of months or so, I'd recommend this because it's way cheaper ultimately. The only thing I haven't found yet is a place that can refill it, so that's my next quest. Now, the reason for this video actually is not all the other systems. Here to the left you can see the Magnum 350 canister filter, which is a good cheap canister filter for those wanting to get a canister filter up and running. The real problem was that once I started installing these other systems, like the large, I guess, sump of water that's in the Aqua sterilizer, is that I then had a reduction in pressure from the canister filter, which is to be expected. So what I needed to do then was instill a pump. Now, right now I have the Eheim 1200 universal water pump. This pump obviously can operate wet or dry. In this instance, it's obviously in the dry condition, or the dry configuration, and that's been working really well. I just literally got it up and running about 10 minutes ago, so it's pumping, producing plenty of flow. I don't know if you can see that, it's probably a little bit too much light, but it's producing plenty of flow, which is something that I like my tank to have. It helps stir oxygen around, and one of the things I had noticed was that the fish were struggling a little bit in the morning when the plants weren't producing oxygen, that they were kind of floating at the surface, sucking in air, which is not good. So two remedies for that. One, water flow, so that there is some oxygen being circulated through the system and breaking that surface tension a little bit more, which, if you can see that, there you can see the surface tensions being broken a little bit more, which will help the fish be able to breathe. The other thing is, I could have introduced an air stone, which I really don't want to do because obviously that messes with the CO2 levels as well. So it's a fine balance and playing around a little bit with the system. So we'll see how this runs. Now, initially I had a smaller Eheim, the bottom rung Eheim, which wasn't working. It was nothing wrong with the pump. The pump was working as manufacturer specification stipulated, but it wasn't, for me, producing enough flow, so it went up a couple of steps. This one produces, I think, about just over 300 gallons an hour, so the other one was about 78 gallons. Really wasn't sufficient to keep up with the flow that I required. And with all the tubing, as you can see, it gets kind of complicated when you've got tubes running everywhere. The more water that you have down the bottom of the tank, the more power you need to have to pump it back up, depending on your configuration. So hopefully that makes sense. This little Eheim 1200 is really rocking along here, and it's a good little pump. Cost me about just over $100. So picked it up from a marine depot. There's any number of places that you can buy it. So hopefully if you're thinking of a similar kind of setup or configuration, this will give you some idea of what you could use. So if you have any questions, email me through YouTube, but hopefully this gives you some idea of what I have as a configuration, and if you're looking to do something similar, this will give you an idea so you don't have to kind of dream about it on your own, reinvent the wheel. Alright, enough babble.